Everyone knows about the Red Rock National Conservation Area. It's over 220,000 acres, but inside that is a small hidden gem. It's called the Spring Mountain Ranch State Park, and I know just the guy who's going to show us around. Once upon a time, Spring Mountain was nothing more than a stop for weary travelers. Wouldn't be long before the glamour of Hollywood set its sights on the ranch, adding to the magic you see today. David, how are you, sir?
Great, nice to meet you, John.
Nice seeing you. Boy,
Yeah.
what a beautiful spot this is.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better than this, right?
What is the #1 thing that people come here to do?
Definitely picnic.
And exhale.
Yeah, and exhale, exactly right. Because we're about 2,000 feet above the Las Vegas Valley floor, so it's a lot cooler up here, usually 10 or 15 degrees. And there's also a big ridge between us and Las Vegas that stops the light at night. It stops the sound during the day. You can exhale.
This is a ranch that has a rich history. Tell me about it.
Yeah, we're actually the 3rd oldest ranch in the Las Vegas Valley. We're the only one that still has the landscape intact because the other 2 have been swallowed up by the city as it's grown. We've been here since 1876.
And what happened then? Take me on through the years.
We were founded by a guy named Jim Wilson. He was a Civil War veteran. He had been in the gold rush in California in the 1850s, but during the Civil War, he got stationed in what's now Arizona, and on his way back to California after the war, he saw the Las Vegas Valley, which at that time was not concrete and skyscrapers, it was green grass and mesquite trees. And I thought this place had potential. He settled here and started a ranch and kind of became the grocery store for all the mines that surrounded the Las Vegas Valley.
Jim Wilson originally purchased the ranch with his partner, George Anderson. Later, Anderson fled the property, leaving Jim to care for the land and to provide for Anderson's family.
So the Wilson family starts the ranch in 1876 and they run it until the late 1920s. As the stock market crashed, they lose control of the ranch. And then it gets purchased by a local guy who had made it big selling fur coats to movie stars in Hollywood. That's kind of the beginning of our Hollywood connection. He tries to turn this into a chinchilla ranch, which doesn't work out very well because chinchilla is delicious to everything that lives in the Mojave Desert.
Yeah.
But he sells it to the first of our true Hollywood owners. And that's a guy named Chet Lauck who had a radio show on CBS. He was bigger than Seinfeld in his day. Like 5 nights a week, his show ran for 23 years.
And he built what is now the Visitor Center?
That's right, he built the Visitor Center.
Lauck leased the land from William George from 1944 to 1948 before buying it outright. Once purchased, he renamed it to Bar Nothing Ranch. This does not look like any visitor center that I've ever been to, really.
No.
It looks like somebody's living here.
Yeah, it's supposed to. Well, this room has actually been furnished to look about like it would have in probably 1952, 1953, when the Lauck family was still using it as a summer home.
Who had it after him?
Oh, I'm glad you asked that. That's Vera Krupp. Vera's my favorite because she was a person who didn't do what she was told. Right? She was born in 1909 in Germany to a pretty wealthy family, and she would have had a completely comfortable life if she had just done what she was told. Life for women in this time period, in that place, in that social class, was basically laid out for you. And Vera never did what she was told. She got married at the age of 19 to a baron. I don't know if she wanted to marry him or not, but the marriage didn't last very long. She ended up running off with a movie producer from Berlin, becoming a movie actress. They ran away from Germany in 1938 and came to America, and they started a new film career in America, which didn't take off. They got divorced. She married another time in America, this time to a naturalized American from Germany who's a dentist, and he's like this weird roller coaster of her life. And she ended up coming back to Germany in the early 50s to take care of her mom, who was dying. And that's where she met her 4th and final husband, Alfred Krupp, who was actually kind of a problematic figure in history. He had been a Nazi and had actually gone to prison for a little while.
The marriage to Alfred brought Vera the famous Krupp diamond, a beautiful ring famously worn by renowned actress Elizabeth Taylor.
And that marriage ended up breaking up in the mid-1950s. By that time, she was 43 years old. She was wealthy because her mother had passed away and she'd inherited a bunch of money. She came back home to Nevada and made her life here at the ranch. She told her friends that this was the first place that she was ever able to really meet herself.
Vera's most precious ring was stolen on April 10, 1959. The robbery triggered 2 significant changes to her life: the installation of the secret closet and the acquisition of her status as deputy sheriff. Vera was the one who renamed the property Spring Mountain Ranch.
Vera left in 1965, and she actually tried to sell it to Nevada State Park. She offered it to us for $750,000, and we didn't buy it because it wasn't actually a very good price. We would regret that decision later on. But she sold it for just $600,000 to Howard Hughes.
No kidding.
Yeah, we get a lot of people who come out and want to know if this is the Howard Hughes Ranch, and it's kind of not. He owned it. He bought it to try to reconcile with his estranged wife, but as far as we know, neither of them ever set foot out here. And he ended up letting his corporate managers use it as kind of a corporate retreat. They actually installed a bar in the house. That's one of the only original pieces of furniture we still have.
While Hughes's corporate managers indulged in Spring Mountain, Howard himself was expanding his assets in Vegas by purchasing the Desert Inn, Frontier, and the unfinished Landmark Hotel.
So Howard Hughes leaves Las Vegas in 1972, and it got put on the market and purchased by a local businessman, a guy named Fletcher Jones. And it was his plan to turn this into the master planned community of Spring Mountain Ranch. He was going to put over 1,000 condos on little quarter-acre lots, and it was going to be like an equestrian-themed gated community. But the people of Las Vegas rose up in opposition. They went to the county commission and told them not to rezone this for high-density urban development. And the county commission listened to what they said. He ended up selling it to Nevada State Parks in 1974 for twice what he paid for it, so he doubled his money. But we ended up paying $3.2 million. And we really wished we would have bought it for $750,000.
But you know what? Here it is in this beautiful, peaceful setting, the way it should be. So all's well that ends well. At the Spring Mountain Ranch State Park, each acre remains as fresh as the day Jim Wilson arrived. Now only enriched by the stories and personalities of every single one of its owners. Lastly, it's ours to enjoy.